Well, hey, mamas. Hello, hello. Let's talk about tip number 3 for overcoming anxiety related to tests. Today, we're focusing on notes. So, I love to ask questions. And my question to you today is, does your teen actually take notes? Is that something you see your teen studying for tests? Does your teen say, oh, I didn't take notes, or I don't need to take notes, or even the teacher goes too fast and I don't know what to write down? If notes are something you want your teen to actually have, you want your teen to feel like, hey, I know what to write down and I do actually take notes because I know how to, what to, and can, then stick around for this video. Okay. There is a really strong correlation between note taking and test anxiety. And I'll give you a hint: if your teen takes notes, that test anxiety level goes way down. Now, we're not going to be talking about everything today about note taking because I'm hosting an upcoming workshop called Note Taking Made Easy. There's a link in the description for you to sign up your team. We start in literally less than 2 weeks, and there's only 10 spots available. So if note taking is something your teen could use some help with, go there after the video, bookmark that link now, whatever you need to do, so you don't forget to sign up your teen. All right, note taking. Why does this matter specifically related to test anxiety? Number one is that notes help your teen remember. Okay. Your teen needs to take notes in class to remember what was discussed, how that material is presented, kind of how that math problem works, like the steps or the characters in the story or the different parts of the country or the different aspects of each battle in history. That is super, super important for your teen to capture and have a copy of. Now, those notes are going to be used then for homework. They might be used for papers and projects, and they're definitely going to be used for studying. Okay, so if your teens don't have any notes, they don't have anything to refer back to, which means they have to rely on their memories. Now, I got to tell you, auditory learners, they take notes very differently than my visual learners. And visual learners and auditory learners are going to take notes differently than kinesthetic learners. And that's totally fine. Okay, there are 7 note-taking rules that I teach in my Love to Learn program that I'm also going to be teaching in my upcoming note-taking workshop. And we're going to talk about how these different types of learners take notes differently. Okay, the goal here is that your teen studies the way that he likes to learn, which means note taking, which is a study skill, needs to match your child's learning style and interests. Okay, and when all of that happens, when the notes are taken in the way that your teen likes to learn, that means the right notes have been taken, right? Because we're matching those rules with the style of learning, which means we're not only remembering while we write or record the information, we're also studying in that same exact style, which then means when your teen gets to the test and he's looked at those notes because he actually had notes to look at, prepare with, well, I got to tell you, that information is up in your teen's head. It's not going to be like your child looks and goes, oh, I don't remember any of this. We talked about this 3 weeks ago, or wow, that was just a couple classes ago, but I didn't get it. And, I didn't have any way to remember or review. Okay. So we want your teen to have notes. So that way your child feels confident. He had a chance to review. He had a chance to study. And he actually has to have notes to study. Otherwise, teen's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what we've talked about. That anxiety level is going to be pretty high without notes. Now, obviously, some of the things we've talked about, the physical prep, and that we're going to talk about mental prep here soon, those are going to help with anxiety on test day, but the notes are going to help a lot as well, if not even more. So be sure to stick with me here. I've got another idea, another thought as to why notes are so important. Before I share that, though, I want to say thanks for being here on Facebook. Thanks for being here on YouTube. I'm Jessyka Coulter, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. I teach teens how to love to learn so they can actually, learn, right? Because there's a big connection between knowing how to learn and loving to learn. And it always comes down to study skills like note-taking. So be sure to follow, be sure to subscribe here on Facebook and on YouTube because there are more videos coming your way about test anxiety, Best life skills about learning pretty much anything your middle schooler, high school, or college kiddo needs to know in order to be an awesome learner and a lifelong learner. Okay? All right. So we talked about studying those notes ahead of time. Well, think about this. No matter what grade your kiddo's in right now, there's a really good chance your child is either going to take an open book test this semester, or might have in the past, or might in the future. But again, open note test requires notes. And also, think about this, maybe not open book notes, but it could be like a sheet of notes or even a note card that your child is allowed to use on that test. That's pretty common, especially like in chemistry class, physics class with like lots of formulas, or even like any type of math class, pretty much. I gotta tell you, those note cards have saved my life way more than once. And your teen that has notes can kind of pull information from those notes to put on the note card. Or if your child actually takes notes and doesn't have just a random bunch of papers, or has some things in this notebook and then some loose leaf papers, and oh man, I think I typed that up, or oh, I meant to borrow those notes from such and such person. Your child who knows how to take notes is going to have everything together in one place. Everything's going to be labeled. Everything's going to be organized. Your teen's going to actually be able to use those notes, not only because he has notes on the test, but actually going to know how to use them, so he doesn't spend the entire time flipping or going, man, it's in here somewhere, and he misses question 25 because he can't find the answer in his notes. And then maybe, depending on how much he studied them anyway, but, question is, does his notes even actually have answer 25 in them? Is he really sure, or does he just think they do? Or maybe they should, maybe the teacher gave it in class, but he just didn't write it down. So, note-taking, very important to studying. Note-taking, very important to getting your teen prepared for that test. And note-taking is going to lead to less anxiety on that test because your teen actually has something to study and might even actually get to use those notes on the test. So thanks for being here, mamas. If you want more information about note-taking, you want your teen to learn how to take notes like we've been talking about, following those 7 rules, actually having them organized and labeled and kind of useful and effective, and helping your teen know, okay, this is what I write down, this is what the teacher said, but not really important enough to capture my notes. And we're going to talk about all of that at the upcoming workshop called Note-Taking Made Easy, starting November 7th. So grab your teen a ticket now. Links below. Click on that. Choose how many kiddos you'd like to have attend. We'll have 10 students total from middle school through college. And so if you've got, middle schooler and a college student, would love to have them both. If you've got 2 high schoolers, would love to have them both. So definitely grab that ticket now. Thank you so much for being here. See you in the next video.